I'm Marcus Hill.
And I'm Elena Reyes.
$24,480, the Social Security earnings limit for someone under full retirement age in 2026. There's a bill in the Senate right now that would take it to zero, and you'll get to meet Ron, the retiree this bill was written for.
So, what's actually in the bill in plain English? And the part almost no one is telling you about the money the SSA has already taken from people in Ron's position. Because it's not lost, it comes back.
First, the bill itself. It's called the Senior Citizens Freedom to Work Act of 2026, Senate version S4184, introduced by Senator Rick Scott of Florida with Senator Tommy Tuberville as co-sponsor. House Companion, H.R. 8344, introduced by Representative Greg Murphy of North Carolina, both sitting in committee right now, no votes scheduled in either chamber as of this week. What the bill does: eliminate the under full retirement age earnings limit entirely. What the bill doesn't touch: the benefit formula, your full retirement age, the cost of living adjustment, taxation of benefits. One change, narrowly scoped. Today, two thresholds matter. If you're under full retirement age the whole year, the limit is $24,480. Earn more, the SSA withholds $1 of your benefits for every two over. The year you reach full retirement age, the limit jumps to $65,160 for the months before your birthday, and the withholding rate drops to 1 for every 3. The month you actually hit full retirement age, no limit, no test. The bill would take that under FRA limit and send it to zero. One detail people get wrong almost every time: the earnings limit only counts wages from a job and net income from self-employment. It does not count investment income, pensions, IRA, or 401k withdrawals, or rental income. So the retiree with a paid-off house and a 4% withdrawal from a portfolio, not affected by this rule at all. The earnings limit is a wage rule. That's it.
Now, the part most retirees never hear about, and it's why this whole conversation has more heat than light. When the SSA withholds your benefits because you went over the earnings limit, that money is not gone. It's not forfeited, it's not a tax, it's not a penalty in the way most people think of penalties, it's a deferral.
Here's how it actually works. While you're under full retirement age and over the limit, the SSA withholds. They keep a tally. Every month they held $1 back, they write down. The month you reach full retirement age, they recalculate. They give you credit for every month they withheld. From that point forward, your monthly check is bigger than it would have been if you'd never hit the limit at all. So you don't get those withheld dollars back as a lump sum check. You get them back as a slightly higher monthly payment for the rest of your life. Now, the cash flow hit while you're being withheld is real. We're not pretending it isn't. If you're 63 and trying to make rent on Social Security plus a part-time job, the fact that you'll get the money back 4 years from now doesn't help you make rent today. That part is genuinely hard.
Quick, before we show you what this looks like with real numbers, yes or no? Should the earnings limit go? Drop it in the comments. We read them. Let us show you what this looks like with real numbers. Consider this hypothetical. Patricia, age 64, full retirement age 67. She filed for Social Security at 62, gets $1,600 a month. She also keeps the books for a small business 20 hours a week, $32,000 a year.
Patricia is over the earnings limit by $7,520. The SSA withholds $1 for every two over, about $3,760 per year. That's roughly 2.5 months of her Social Security checks held back annually.
Patricia is living on her bookkeeping income plus the partial Social Security still coming through. She feels punished. The comments under every Social Security video say the same thing. I worked my whole life and now I'm being penalized for working more. That feeling is real. We understand it.
But here's the math Patricia has not been told. 3 years from now, Patricia turns 67. The SSA recalculates. They credit back the 7.5 months of withheld benefits as a permanent monthly bump. From that day forward, her check goes up by roughly $40 a month for the rest of her life. 20 more years of Social Security on that bumped base, about $10,000 in additional lifetime benefits, plus every future cost of living adjustment compounding on the higher number. So why is the country fighting about this? Two reasons. One is history, one is real. Social Security was designed in 1935. Retirement back then meant a hard stop. You left the workforce at 65 and that was it. The earnings test was built in because policymakers wanted benefits going to people who'd actually stopped working. In 2000, Congress eliminated the earnings test entirely for anyone above full retirement age. The under FRA limit is the last piece of the original 1935 design still hanging on.
But the political heat isn't really about history. It's about pain. Widows working manual labor jobs, construction workers whose bodies gave out at 63 but who can't afford to actually retire, people who paid in for 40 years and feel like they're being told they shouldn't access their own money. That pain is real.
The arguments for keeping the limit are weak. The arguments against it are real. We'd be fine to see this go. Now, here's a hypothetical where the bill genuinely matters, but where the bigger problem isn't the earnings limit at all. Ron, age 63, spent 35 years as a union electrician. His knees and shoulders are done. He filed at 62, gets $1,800 a month. He picks up part-time work at a hardware store, 25 hours a week, around $40,000 a year. That puts him $15,500 over the earnings limit. The SSA withholds about $7,760 per year, nearly half his annual check. If the bill passes, Ron stops being withheld. His full $1,800 a month keeps coming. His annual income goes up by about $7,800 for the 4 years until he hits full retirement age. That is real money for someone in Ron's shoes.
But here's the question almost no one is asking. The bill helps Ron's near-term cash flow. But should Ron have claimed at 62 in the first place? Ron's wife, Linda, never worked outside the home. Her own Social Security record is small. When Ron dies, and the actuarial tables say there's a real probability that happens before Linda, Linda's only Social Security check will be Ron's, because the spousal rule says she keeps the larger of the two. By claiming at 62, Ron permanently locked in a check that's 30% smaller than it would have been if he'd waited to full retirement age. He didn't just shrink his own benefit, he shrank Linda's check for the rest of her life.
The earnings limit is making Ron's now harder. The early claim is making Linda's later harder. Those are two separate problems, and they shouldn't get conflated. So suppose the bill passes. What actually changes for your retirement plan? Less than people think. Social Security is built to be roughly actuarially neutral. Eliminating the earnings limit doesn't change your benefit formula. It doesn't change your full retirement age. It doesn't change how the cost of living adjustment is calculated. It changes one thing: the friction. Right now, the earnings limit discourages people from claiming early while still working. Remove the friction, and more people will claim earlier.
And here's where we want to be careful. Earlier isn't automatically better. The bill removes a barrier. It does not remove the actual decision. The actual decision when to claim has the same answer it had before. If you want to run these numbers for your own situation, there's a resource in the description that walks you through it.
So here's where we land. The earnings limit was never the real question. It's a friction. It's annoying. It's genuinely cruel to people who can't afford to retire and can't afford to be fully working either. The bill, if it passes, will help those people. We're fine with that. But it doesn't change anyone's claiming decision who wasn't already going to claim early. And the claiming decision, when, not whether, is what actually changes the math for the rest of your life. If this was useful, subscribe.
Join us again next time on Anchor for more retirement news in plain English.
Thanks for watching.